From the CSI Outdoor Track and Field Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you into NCAA Division II women's soccer coverage on the ECC network. In today's non-conference matchup, the College of Staten Island Dolphins host the Holy Family University Tigers. Good morning, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, alongside Jeff Brodsky on the call. And once again, I was pulling double duty on PA ahead of the start of today's broadcast, so we're just a bit late getting on headset. But Jeff, welcome back to Sportsnet, your second time calling this Dolphins team. A lot has happened since the last time you and I were on headset together. Let's talk about that just a bit as we get underway here today.
It's really exciting to be back on the commentary. It's been about 2 weeks, but Dolphins still looking here to try to get their first win on the season. So it's going to be exciting to watch them just play a more relaxed game, and there's no pressure anymore for them. You know, nothing to really look for. Just play each game as best as they can. Hopefully just pull together a win.
On a positive note, today is Morgan's Message Mental Health Awareness Day here at the CSI Outdoor Track and Field Complex. There was a moment of silence in remembrance of Morgan Rogers. Of course, the name behind Morgan's Message, which helps to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health and student athletes, aiming to get mental health treatment the same recognition and attention as physical health treatment for all of our student athletes throughout the country. A great cause that the Dolphins have been supporting today. If you'd like to get involved and donate, you can go and visit at CSI Dolphins on our social media page, or the at CSI Women's Soccer social media page. There you can find the QR code, which provides more information and gives you links to support the cause of today's fundraiser here at the CSI Outdoor Track and Field Complex. You can also find that QR code in our game day article, and we'll have it on the screen for you at halftime of this game as well if you would like to support Morgan's Message. However, on a negative note for the Dolphins, they were eliminated from playoff contention earlier in the week when they faced Malloy University on the road. It was a long shot, but they were still mathematically alive entering that game. Men's soccer as well, Jeff, remains mathematically alive, but the road to the playoffs for them is going to be very difficult as well.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for men's soccer. Unfortunately, women's is eliminated. But even though they're out, they still got to play every game as hard as they can. I know they will. And I think almost, unfortunately, they're not going to play playoffs, but it makes it easier. There's nothing to worry. They don't have to think about getting a win for a certain purpose. It's just getting a win just for themselves.
And we have our first shot of the game belonging to Holy Family. Easy save for Brianna Dorr to get things started. And in just a moment, we'll get you the starting lineups for both teams. And as Dorr sends this one out toward the midfield, we'll wait, as that ball didn't quite get there. So the next time the ball goes out of play, we will get you the Dolphins starters. Those I can rattle off quickly. Sometimes the visitors take a bit longer, though there weren't any out-of-the-ordinary pronunciations. And with that foul, here are the Dolphins starters. In goal, 0, Brianna Dorr. The rest of the Dolphins starters in numerical order. Number 2, Rachel Charsky. Number 4, Emily Albano. Number 9, Clarissa Melgoza. Number 10, Isabella Radavini. Chloe Ludwig was a late addition to the starting lineup. She's wearing number 3. Kelly Buckley wears number 18. Riley Hammond, number 19. Ariel Uwe, number 20. Number 21, Caitlin Thompson. And number 25, Jenna Como. On the side of the Tigers, in goal is 0, Hannah Labadie. The rest of the starters in numerical order for the Tigers. Number 3, Brooke Del Toro. Number 9, Bridget Dixon. Number 11, Maura Kilkenny. Number 12, Izzy Mignon. Number 13, Allison Loper. Number 15, Carly Fox. Number 17, Lexi Murphy. Number 23, Bryn Hess. Number 27, Alyssa Hooten. And number 29, Riley Kaufman.
And the Dolphins are looking to run something like a 5-3-2 in this, like they did all season long. And this is just to stop them from coming into the middle of the field, make the Tigers play on the outside, which I think is the just best way statistically. I mean, if you're going to have to give up possession somewhere, you want to give it up on the wings instead.
Here come the Dolphins now through the midfield as that ball intended for Radavini is on target. Radavini shoots, and it is just wide. Nice setup there from the midfield by Thompson. Radavini didn't get all of that shot. Surprised me a bit, shooting it as quickly as she did, and she came up just wide.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. I believe she could have taken a touch, maybe step inside on her left foot, but still, beautiful chance. I think this is exactly what the Dolphins need to do. Play quick. They need to just beat them on the counterattack. They can definitely win against these Tigers. They haven't really been all that fabulous in non-conference game, yet to get a win. actually, in non-conference games.
Dolphins still looking for their first victory of the season. They'll have 2 more shots at it, including today as the Tigers move in. Chance for Holy Family, stopped by Dorr, and she dives on top of it, finally covering that ball up.
That's a beautiful save from Velasquez.
Dorr with a big save early in this one, her second of the match. On the initial shot was Carly Fox from in close. And after the Dolphins threatened just moments ago, the Tigers come right back the other way and counter with a threat of their own.
That was just really great composure. She didn't have the ball fully in her grasp, but she was able to pick it back up very quickly.
And Dorr gets on top of another one.
And I think she's gonna be asked of a lot in this game again. Dolphins do give up a lot of shots, but she's really great in goal. I'm not very nervous that she's gonna let anything easy in.
Well, the Dolphins have used 3 goalkeepers extensively this year as the Tigers, threatening once again, forced Kelly Buckley to send it toward the sideline. She did have Ariel Uwe there waiting. And you could hear it over our headsets, Jeff. It is as windy as it has been on campus here all season.
Yeah, and it's gonna change the game a little bit. When the ball flies in the air, it's gonna change. So something to think about for them. But man, is it cold.
Temperature is probably in the mid-50s, maybe closer to 60, but the wind has certainly made it feel a bit more chilly. It's a good thing I didn't go with the shorts today. My forecast said 65.
Would not have been the best idea.
Dolphins send it into the air along the near side. We do have our regular camera angle back today. No battery issues, which is always nice. Can't say the same for our last doubleheader, but we had to lend one of our cameras to swim, and the amount of viable batteries dwindled quickly as that ball rolls toward the far side. They're waiting for it as Hess.
And Dolphins almost got a chance there. They're playing perfectly. This is exactly what you need in the 5-3-2. You need to make the defenders not be able to get a pass across to each other, and nearly got a turnover there in a dangerous area.
Once again, Brianna Dorr snags one out of the air, this time on a cross. She's been busy.
But as I said before, I think I expect that from her. Dolphins, like I said, give up a lot of shots. But she's fabulous in goal, so I'm not too nervous for her.
As I was saying before, the Dolphins have used 3 goalkeepers extensively this year. Senior Sarah Villacres has been in goal quite a bit this year. Freshman Oksana Zahirna has played goal quite a bit. She got the start in the game at Malloy earlier in the week, and we've seen quite a bit of Brianna Dorr as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think number one thing, you need a great goalkeeper. You need to keep everybody fresh and in the game, because when you have someone who doesn't play enough games, it becomes a little difficult for them to get into the rhythm. So it's good to always have people who are not only fresh but also have been in quite a few games, and so they know what to do.
Free kick awarded to the Tigers here. I believe that was for an offside. Taking it will be Kilkenny. So we mentioned the Dolphins have 2 games left, both of those here at home. This, of course, the first of those 2 remaining games. Our final broadcast of the season here at Soccer will be on Wednesday, as that shot is saved again by Dorr, the attempt by Allison Loper. But we had a broadcast last night over at Swim. The wireless internet in the building, not the greatest, but I think we got everything except for one relay, so that's good. And we'll be back here at the soccer complex, or at least right up the hill from the soccer complex, on Wednesday. This game, the first of 2 today. We have men's soccer coming up next against the University of New Haven, so be sure to tune in back here on the ECC network for that game at 2:30.
Yeah, that'll be a good game to watch. I believe men's soccer will really... there'll be a lot of goals scored in that game. Men's soccer, they've scored a lot of goals over the last few games. The team they're playing against has scored in each and every game this season so far.
Tough test for men's soccer against the University of New Haven in the back half of our doubleheader today. I think we may have had a handball there.
I believe it was push in the back.
All right. So a foul against Tigers. The Tigers, that is.
And
Have
Dolphins
to be grammatically correct.
Oh.
And there's a bad giveaway off the free kick. We'll see if it turns into a shot. Pass toward the top of the box. It's on the foot of Loper. Hess crosses, and it's just wide of that back post.
Believe that looked like it might have been a cross into the back post, but their striker can't make it out, but she could not get that in time. But great stuff from Sarah to Dara to get across to that and make it difficult.
That ball's headed in the air, and it remains with Holy Family. They'll look to work it up the near side into the attacking third now. There's another long strike, and it gets by Doran in.
Wow, what a strike!
It did not look like there was much space between Doran and that post, but Holy Family converts on the goal. We'll get the official scoring in just a moment.
And you know, it wasn't too powerful, but the placement was just perfect. It put it right past the post, right against their hand. There was nothing you could do about that, really.
There's a look at it from on-field level.
Beautiful goal there.
Well, we're still trying to give credit to the goal scorer. We're waiting the word from the stats desk. And here come the Dolphins racing back the other way. That's sent on goal, and getting her fingertips on it was Labetti.
And this is great from the Dolphins. It is exactly what they need to do. Just keep the pressure going, play fast, push. Push the pace.
Corner kick, Staten Island, and how about that response from the Dolphins? These two teams trading blows early. Dolphins now setting up for a corner kick. Caitlin Thompson will take it. That's sent toward the center of the box and headed wide.
And Dolphins couldn't score there, but they still made a good chance out of it. They should keep pushing them. It's exactly what they need to keep doing. It wasn't the best set piece, but great counterattacking there.
Alexi Murphy scored the Tigers' goal.
It was a great goal from Murphy.
Sure was, and it developed very quickly. Tigers have it now. Working it into the midfield, but Ariel Uwe right there waiting. Has it on her foot. She finds Ludwig. Ludwig gives it away. Here comes Mignon.
That's Alexi Murphy's third goal of the season.
The wind continuing to attempt to lift our tent off the turf. That wouldn't be the first time this year. So I'm ready. If I need to serve as an anchor for the second time this year, we can do it.
Thank God I didn't bring my umbrella. I would have turned into Mary Poppins.
Don't fly away on me now. Tigers have it in the attacking third once again, looking to work it toward the top of the box. Dolphins get a piece and are able to clear it away. Strong challenge there by Albano. Play continues, and we'll see if they do award the free kick, and it will be a free kick for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was good advantage there from the ref. I believe the Tigers are also playing a 5-3-2, so both these teams are going to play down the wings, presumably, but they're going to be congested in the midfield. They don't want the ball flying in through there. So not surprising so far this game that we haven't seen it so much in the middle, other than the goal.
Tigers have put some early pressure on the CSI defense, but the Dolphins have had their chances as well.
Absolutely.
Radovini with two quality shots. The first, she may not have gotten all of it. The second was from about as sharp an angle as you can attempt a shot from, and that ball bent right back on target.
Yeah, I believe the Dolphins, they have a very big chance to win this game. As I said before, Tigers have yet to win a game in non-conference play, and they have only scored once. This is only their second goal in non-conference in play in 6 games. So Dolphins will be very competitive here.
Fight for possession along the far side. Thompson shielding her marker off the ball. It's kept in by Hess, or at least it appeared so for a moment. The Dolphins will throw. I mentioned it before, the Dolphins 0-10-3 on the season. Holy Family 4-7-1. They defeated Felician University in their last game 1-0 1 week ago. That, of course, was a conference game in the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference.
Yeah, and it was a very close game there for the Tigers' last game, but they'd come out with a great plan. They didn't let their opposition play through the middle. Their one and only goal was a cross from the far side and a back post header. It was a great goal for them. Great game played by them. And I believe that there's a bit more pressure on the Tigers in this game. Their next 3 games after this one are all going to be conference games, and they want to keep up their momentum. They want to keep their win streak going into hopefully their playoffs.
No question about it. Obviously, where you stand in terms of the postseason and how much you want to exert yourself in those final non-conference games certainly comes into play late in the season, and when you're met with a physical team like this Dolphins squad right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that definitely comes to mind late in the season.
Yeah, you start thinking, oh, I don't want to, pull something, not this late on. There's not a lot of time to recover. But you also don't want to lose the win streak. You want to be able to start also getting into that mode. Start understanding like, okay, it's coming down, so I need to get into playoff mode.
That ball cleared away into the bench by CSI. There's also the question of how much is it on your mind that you're taking on a team still looking for their first win, and you don't want to be that one in the win column if you're a visiting team right now.
Absolutely. No, you hate that, right? There's something about that, right? Other teams will say something to you. The coaches are going to be happy with that. Coaches aren't going to be happy with any loss, but I think that's why I say this. I think there's a little more pressure on the Tigers. Dolphins, they're just playing their game. There's nothing more to play for than just this win.
And it's something that I've mentioned in just about every broadcast here at home, and I'll do it again. Dolphins have been resilient all year, no question about it, but you're only in a position to show off that resilient nature when you fall behind early, and they've fallen behind early in many games. I think out of the games we've covered here on Sportsnet, they've given up a goal in the first 15 minutes, and at least, if we've covered 7 or 8 of them, they've done it at least 4 or 5 times where they've given up a goal in the first 15 minutes. And a lot of the time, they rebound nicely, and the rest of the way, the game is just about even or maybe within a goal. But when you put yourself behind early, it becomes that much more difficult to secure a win.
Yeah, absolutely. It becomes tough very quickly. They calling it out of bounds there?
It's a warning for the Dolphins bench, and I think the reason is that earlier in the match, and I saw it, the official told them they had to get behind the white line. And you can see that white line behind, well, maybe not on our screen, but we can see the white line. There's also a checkered blue line in front of that, but they need to be behind that solid white line in front of the bench area. So, second time the Dolphins have been told to back it up.
Well, as you said before, I think it's hard. Yeah, it's hard when you're falling behind in a game. You have to keep your resilience, and I think Dolphins have done that all year round beautifully. My only problem, I think they just need to push the pace a little faster. I think when they're playing in a 5-3-2 like they do, they need to just push it out of the defenders, play down the wing quickly, and that's what they did earlier in the game. That's what they got them that corner. And I think if they could just replicate that, they easily could be in this game and easily pull ahead.
And you're much more well-versed in the tactical nature of the game than I am, Jeff, but something that I have observed covering this Dolphins team now the last couple of seasons, they seem to be a very quick strike attack. Now, the terminology might not fit, but you get what I'm trying to make.
Counterattack. Counterattack might be.
Yeah, maybe a counterattack, but very quickly the Dolphins, usually off of 1 or 2 passes maximum, get the shots of theirs that lead to goals, or every once in a while they get one of those long strikes, and we've seen that more than once already this year. We did see it in the last home game on senior day as well when Isabella Radavini scored from a long way out. And I think those are the types of goals that we've seen the Dolphins put into the back of the net for much of this season in the games we've covered anyway. And that's only sustainable so often during a match to get those opportunities.
You know, and yeah, you can only get so many in a game, but I believe in the modern game too, a lot of teams like to do this. This exact type of formation is a very modernized formation now. This wasn't even used about 10 years ago. But this type of quick counterattacking type of play, that 1-2 passes and just ping it up there, is exactly what can get you wins. It's tough, it's fast-paced, but it's very, very, very very useful in today's game now. Very impactful. I think they should keep on doing this. You know, it's like I said, very modern today.
Going to have a throw in here for Holy Family along the near side. Much like last year, the Dolphins' playoff aspirations did come down to their final conference game. That game against Malloy both seasons as well, but obviously you know this team wants to ensure they end the season with a victory. They have 2 more shots at it, one here today, one on Wednesday. We didn't mention this yet, but this is the first time that the Dolphins and the Tigers have met in the history of the 2 programs. Dolphins will take on a team that they faced last season on Wednesday in Pace University. If memory serves me correctly, the final in that game last season was 2-0. Jeff's opening the laptop. He's going to confirm it, but I'm almost certain the final last year was 2-0. That game was played on the road in Pleasantville.
And yes, it was exactly 2-0.
I do write those recaps, so there has to be some level of residual memory there. Here comes a free kick for the Tigers.
And I believe Pace.
Ball along the touchline and a foul. Nope, no foul. Goal kick.
I believe Pace is going to be a lot tougher of a game. That's why I say this is the game I think that the best chance to get their win on the season. Tigers will be a bit harder.
Here comes the dust cloud. A massive dust cloud is overtaking the outdoor track and field complex right now. You might see it on your screen at home, but boy, I haven't seen anything like this calling a game.
Wow. Yeah,
the field is just becoming obscured in a dust cloud as Dorr makes a diving save.
Wow. In the dust cloud, you could barely see that ball.
Loper made a bid to double the Holy Family lead, and with occurrences like that, you miss Dolphin Soccer Park just a bit more. That would never happen on the other field.
Yeah, it's...
Thankfully, it has passed, and now that dust cloud has made its way over to the dorms.
You get it away from here.
Corner kick Tigers. It's a low one toward the near post. Holy Family now retreats back toward the corner and will try again. Ball a mile high in the air, and Dorr could not keep it out.
Yeah, and that just flew right over Dorr. Dorr is, I believe, 5'6" frame. She just couldn't get her hand up to it.
Dorr 5'3". That was the Holy Family roster on top there.
5'3", excuse me. Gets a little tough.
Tigers have doubled their lead, and I'll have to go over to the stats desk again. Thank you, Sam. Allison Loper on the goal. I saw who they were congratulating, could not see the number. But Sam, our spotter, and Stephanie, our statistician, right on it as always.
And Allison Loper is the leading goal scorer of this team. That is her 4th goal of the season. And along with her 5 assists, that is 9 goal contributions.
And that is a tough break for the Dolphins in that spot. Obviously, the wind whipping, that ball sent seemingly a mile high up into the air. And to track that one on the way down and then keep it out, not an easy thing to do sometimes. And that one coming in like a knuckleball.
Oh.
Full Dorr on the way into the back of the net as it looks like we have an injury.
Oh, she just rolled over the ball. She might have rolled her ankle there.
The clock stopped at 21:55. So we also were just told that there was a correction on the first goal. It was Alyssa Hooten who scored the first goal as they went back to video to confirm that. Dolphins about to make a pair of substitutions. I think that is Rachel Charsky who's down on the field.
It's just not what you want to see. I mean, we spoke about this, I remember 2 weeks ago, but the amount of injuries, the amount of scares this team has had to deal with all season, just not what you want to see.
Injuries have certainly hampered this team at times this year. Obviously, they lost Nadia Evola. She had the privilege of kicking off the senior day game, got in, kicked off that game, and then came out after a few seconds, getting one final chance to make an appearance on the pitch here at the College of Staten Island. She is on the bench today. Obviously will not play, but throughout the season, at times, the Dolphins have been without some regular starters, and that has forced changes in the lineup, and that certainly lends itself toward some extra time, chemistry building, especially with some players who are new to this program. And the Dolphins did introduce a lot of new players to the program today, or I shouldn't say today, this season. However, today, many of them are in the starting lineup, and that includes the player who's down on the pitch in Rachel Charsky, Clarissa Melgoza, new to the program, Chloe Ludwig, not new to the college game, but new to this Dolphins team, Caitlin Thompson, new to this Dolphins team, Riley Hammond, new to this Dolphins team. So, Jeff, a lot of new players entering their first collegiate season or their first season with this Dolphins program this year. And when you have players in and out of the lineup, that extra factor makes things a bit tougher.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, no matter what, you know, you're a new player, whether you're a freshman, whether you played at a different college prior to this. I mean, it becomes very difficult to build a chemistry, knowing each other's tendencies. You know, it takes time, of course, to build that up. And so when you have people in and out and, like, you know, you can't have consistency, it becomes a little more difficult.
Action resumes with just under 22 minutes to go. Charsky was helped off the field, didn't get very far. She's being attended to along the sideline. So given the nature of the injury, I think it's unlikely we'd see her back in the game. Those ankle injuries are tough, especially once you come off of it. But we won't speculate any further than that, as her team does trail 2-0 here in the first half. And I think that would lend itself toward some extra caution in regards to getting her back in the game, even if she felt she could enter once again.
Yeah, and there's no need for her to possibly aggravate it or make it worse than it has to be. You know, and Dolphins have other people that can come in and hopefully fill in the spots.
The substitution for Charsky that came into the game was Emily Massey. Eva Rodriguez waiting to check in as well. Here come the Dolphins again, working through the midfield. That ball for Radavini, plays her through nicely. Radavini sends one just wide, and it rolls along the touchline, staying in play. Dolphins might hope to turn this into a corner. Instead, I think the ball was cleared off of a Dolphin, and the Tigers will throw. But there it is again, Jeff. Quick counter, and the Dolphins turn it into a quality chance.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need to keep doing. I mean, absolutely. So quickly, they get down the wing with open space. They can make a chance. They didn't score there, but exactly what they need to keep doing. And eventually, if they can keep doing that, keep pounding that side, they're 100% going to score.
And we've seen that quite a bit the last 2 seasons. I touched on it earlier, but Radavini making a run up the wing or making a run down the center of the pitch, and her teammates playing her throughout of the midfield. That's been one of the main sources of offense for the Dolphins these last 2 seasons. We saw it last year with Radavini leading the team in goals, leading the conference in shots.
Yeah, and this season she's leading the team in goals, and you know, Radavini definitely, it's going to come down to her. She's definitely leaving a mark on this game, even if it's not going to show up in the scoreline just yet.
Another throw in here for the Tigers along the near side, and they may look to send this one into the box. They do. Several Dolphins were there waiting. The first to it is Uwe. Here comes Hammond. Hammond has Thompson. Now Melgoza. And there it is again. The attempted through ball for Radavini. This time the pass was intercepted by Kilkenny. Tigers look to move through the midfield. But the Dolphins dispossess them, and we'll head back the other way.
Yeah, and this is perfectly executed game plan, I believe. Like, they're not scoring right now, but they are very competitive in this game, and exactly what they need to do. Need to play down the wing. Keep playing down the wing. Keep feeding Radavini because she is playing great.
Radavini now has had 3 separate opportunities here in this first half. One came from in close on a shot that traveled just wide. It didn't appear she got all of it, but was in prime scoring position. The second shot came from a few yards off the touchline. Tough angle, and she almost was able to bend that ball into the net. And then that last shot traveled just wide as well, but you have to think with the frequency at which she's gotten chances, she's going to find the back of the net. You can't often give her 3 opportunities like that and come away unscathed.
Oh, yeah, I believe 100% she definitely, one of these chances has to find the back of the net for her. She's capable enough to do that. And if the Tigers don't make a change here, I mean, it's going to happen inevitably. And I think that'll be the best thing for the Dolphins. It gives them some confidence. It gives them some morale. They're like, okay, we're back in this game. 2 is difficult, but 1 is not hard and is not too hard for them.
We're going to have another throw here. This one will go the way of the Dolphins. And I thought the substitution had been allowed with Rodriguez coming in from Algoza, and she had to get her earrings off. See, those are the little things you miss when you're in your own bubble with the headset on. There's a lot that goes on around you that with, obviously, my audio and your headset, your audio and mine, we can miss some of those conversations that go on over here next to us.
Yeah, eyes are too focused on the ball right now.
Not focused enough to pick up the goal scores, apparently.
We don't need to say that.
Though, to be fair, when you're looking for the goal scorer and the front side of the jersey is facing you, it is very tough to make out the numbers sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
we are not that close, especially for a goal scored on the near side.
Yeah, it is quite difficult. Over there it's a little hard.
In the press box, when you go binoculars, the distance is offset a bit. We do have a pair of binoculars up in the office.
Hopefully next season I will be getting to use those binoculars to get a better look at this.
We have an inside joke among the group. Obviously at baseball, when you get late in a blowout, sometimes there are some extra substitutions. They clear the bench and bring in a lot of players. And you need the binoculars. Otherwise, you will miss the changes in the outfield. So we've often called the baseball press box Fort Knox, short for binoculars, as Rodriguez is flagged for offsides.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in the outfield, you got to look about 350 feet in front of you. I mean, I can barely see in the 15 feet past me.
You can't spot the changes in the outfield without the knocks. That's what I always used to say. Get the knocks. Hammond looking to win possession in the midfield. She does, onto the foot of Rodriguez.
And before
back to Como.
Dolphins before had a really, really good chance. It was called offsides, but it was very close to have a clear sight at goal.
Well, the Dolphins have had some really nice playmaking sequences out of the midfield in this game, and unfortunately for them, it has not led to a goal yet, but they've been decisive. The passes have been made quickly, and I think it's going to come down to how many of those can they get through and give their forwards a chance to score. That's often been the big question mark in a lot of games. We've seen teams make the decision to take Isabella Radavini out of the game and not allow her to be the attacker that beats them. And that forces other players to step up. And we've seen that on occasion this year. But the goal scoring as a unit for this Dolphins squad just hasn't been there. And that's a nice play to win her team a corner by Bridget Dixon. She sent that off of Albano.
Yeah, that was smart there. She knew she was going to be able to make a good play out of it, but now gets them a set piece and possibly a way to increase this lead.
As a team this year, the Dolphins have scored 13 goals. And I'll elaborate following this corner. Another low one toward the center of the box. It gets through, but I think one of the Dolphins got a piece of it and sent it just wide. So the Dolphins' goal-scoring differential this year overall minus 24, 13 to 37, as that is crossed toward the opposite side of the pitch, and it gets by and onto the foot of Radavini. Radavini, pinned against the sideline, sends it off one of the Tigers. So as I mentioned, 13 goals for, 37 goals against for the Dolphins this year. Last year, they scored 24 goals, allowing 28. So obviously not what you'd like to see in terms of the goal differential, but looking back to early in the season last year covering this team, there were a lot of very low-scoring games. It was the opposite this year. There were a lot of high-scoring games, and one such game that stands out is a game where the Dolphins scored 3 goals. That was against Dominican University of New York, but 7 goals scored in that game. We did not see that much at all last season.
Yeah, and it's hard, you know, it's really hard to win a soccer game when you're letting up, I believe, the most goals in the conference. It's just not a recipe to win games, but I think, you know, it's unfortunate, but I think next year they come back to that form that they had the year prior. And bigger than this, just score more goals. They need to be more aggressive. I feel that's just one thing with this team that I want them to be more aggressive. They have the talent, they have the ability to just push the pace of other teams. Don't play it so slow to the back. I want them to move it up quick. Every opportunity they've had has been a quick opportunity, right up the pitch as soon as they could, and it's turned into something.
I talked about this on Senior Day, the last time we were on the air here at CSI, but Dolphins are graduating the largest senior class that I have ever seen this season. I have not covered any sport here at CSI that has graduated a senior class of 10. And the Dolphins graduating 10 people this year have a lot of players to replace next season, and some key players at that.
Yeah, wow. I mean, 10 is a lot, you know, and that's something about college that's different from the professional level, right? You don't get a lot of time with a certain group because eventually, you know, they move on, right? They graduate. And so it gets tough. 10 is a big number, but as you said before, they brought in a lot of people. They brought in a lot of freshmen, right? And so those will be the ones to hopefully fill in the gaps for their going away seniors.
I'm actually counting out the players on the roster right now. They have 25 on the roster right now. Of those 25, I would say 22, maybe 23 are active right now. I think Taryn Hilke and Nadia Evela are the 2 inactives, but if there is another, I'm not aware. So let's say they have 23 active. You're graduating 10 seniors. One of them is Evela, as that's sent toward goal, and it was wide, but Dorr knocks it down. So you're graduating, and team manager Laura Surratt was among those 10 as well. So players from your active roster that are in uniform today, you're graduating 8 of 22.
Yeah, it's a big number. I mean, that's players on your bench. That's players in your starting 11. That's a lot of players, definitely. But, you know, every team has to go through it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a challenge for them, but I think they'll definitely be able to come back and bring in some new faces. And maybe that's what they need. You know, unfortunately, this hasn't been their best season. I don't want anybody to go here. I think this is just a talented team right now. But, you know, sometimes, you know, you need to just change it up and hope, you know, next year hopefully it could be better for them and they can fill in those new gaps.
I think when you look at the players that they're graduating their leading goal scorer, who may get another chance here. It's a foot race. Radavini has a step. She's moving in, and the shot was blocked. A great defensive play and a penalty. Clock stopped at 10:31. Radavini is down, but if she is able to get to her feet and remain in the game, she will attempt a penalty kick here. Initially, it was a great defensive play to block that shot.
Yeah, Maura Kilkenny got that block across. That was fabulous. You know, Radavini beat her first defender. Kilkenny came in, blocked it, but then the penalty came in anyway. Great attack there. They have a great chance to put this goal away. I believe this may be their first penalty of the season.
They certainly haven't had one here at home. So Radavini will get set up to attempt the PK here.
This is their first penalty of the season.
Should have known that. The penalty kick on its way. It's stopped, rolling toward the goal line, and in. It rolls in. We did not have a great angle, but the official with the assist has the ball spotted at the midfield dot. So the Dolphins, after a collective holding of breath, are on the board. It's 2-1.
I was just about to pass out from the anticipation there. I thought, what is no one running over?
That was close, Jeff.
I mean, that must have just trickled over the line. And it's unfortunate, you know. Goalkeeper got a save, got a touch on it, great touch on it. It just passed right by her and trickled in.
That was really, really close. A good effort there in goal by Hannah Labadie, not enough, as Radavini got enough on that shot to get it past her despite getting two hands on it. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that still went in, you know?
Yeah.
It's two really good attempt at it, but it just unfortunately bounced down and laid in. And I think this is a big turning point now for the Dolphins. You heard the bench screaming. They're getting hyped up now. There's more to it now. They know they're right back into this game.
I think that's a goal the Dolphins obviously needed in terms of getting back in this game, but in terms of what that could have done to deflate a team, especially with your most prolific scorer in the position of taking a penalty kick, you can't afford to see that come up empty.
Yeah, I mean, especially, like you said, I mean, you're 2-0 down. You know, you've been working really hard to try to get back into this game. And, you know, you need to see it go into the back of the net. It gives you so much confidence. It really does. It really changes it for your team. Because it makes you see, like, we can score. It's in the back of the net. We just saw it.
Going to have a throw in here for the Tigers.
And Dolphins have been very competitive. You see the Tigers, don't want to give the commentators curse, but have slowed down a little bit over the last few minutes.
Jeff, you know, it's only your second broadcast. We'll let it slide, but when it comes to the Jinx, you got to be a little more careful than that.
I know. First game, I remember I said Dixon, they were holding Dixon so well, and then I believe about 15 seconds later she scored. So.
Yep. Need to learn.
Hopefully, it didn't curse us again.
Here come the Tigers. Ball rolling toward the touchline. Albano sends it in the direction of the corner, and she does keep it in play. Albano lost it for a moment, has it back, this time on her left foot. She's still fighting, and once again, the Tigers take it away. And the Dolphins are awarded a goal kick. And we touched on it earlier, Jeff, but speaking of the seniors that the Dolphins will be losing following this season, Emily Albano, one of them, along with Kelly Buckley. That's two players on your back line. Today, that duo at the center back position. So you're losing your two center backs that have started, if I'm not mistaken, every game this season. And that's among several other players that were in today's starting lineup, including Isabella Radavini. Obviously, we know what her loss would mean in terms of goal-scoring output. Jenna Como, who recently returned to the team, also graduating at the conclusion of the season. So a lot of players that you will need to replace that have played key roles for your team down the stretch run of the season.
Yeah, and up and down the pitch everywhere, you know. I mean, Emily Albano, you just saw that. I mean, 3 defenders, 3 players all around her. All she sees is Tigers, and she is able to get away from all of them and keep possession for the Dolphins to get a goal kick out of that. You know, and it's going to be really hard to replace someone like that, especially the captain, you know, and there's so much more that comes with being a captain. You got to control your team. You got to make sure everybody stays in check. So it's going to be tough to replace anybody, but especially her.
That free kick travels over everybody and into the arms of Dorr.
She's also played the most minutes, actually, this season for them.
That's unsurprising, as she's been a mainstay in the lineup since day one. Has always played big minutes. I can't remember the last time she missed a game, as the Tigers now look to threaten, but a nice job by Buckley to shield an attacker off the ball. Making that run was Loper.
Yeah, and the second leading actually in minutes is also Radavini. So it's going to be a lot to replace. Definitely going to be really hard.
Como works through the midfield and wanted Radavini, but the pass was broken up.
That was great from Como. She held the ball very nicely there, just couldn't find the pass.
Did a great job to keep moving forward with some good speed and shielding her marker off.
Yeah, that was really, really good defense, just keeping the ball away and looking for a pass.
It's going to be a Tigers corner here, as that was deflected by Dolphin on its way over the touchline. So Holy Family right back to work. Following that free kick not too long ago, the Dolphins took possession through the midfield. The Como pass intercepted, and just like that, another set piece for Holy Family.
Yeah, they've had quite a few this game. I believe this may be their 4th or 5th of the game.
Corner on its way, and I think the wind took that one. It was directed toward goal off the head, and the Tigers wanted a handball. Almost did not need it. That being said, Jeff, I think they had a case.
Yeah, I mean, it was close. How I understand is, you know, player is not trying to get hit right in the face, right? You're just putting your hands here, but it's not intentional. I don't believe I believe it might have hit her actually in the chest area. You put your hands up just to the face.
It was close. Another corner on its way. This one toward the back post, a bit too long. Massey comes together with Murphy. Ludwig joins the fray in the corner, and the Tigers will throw.
And quite a few set pieces, but Dolphins have defended well so far in them.
The throw travels deep into the box, and another corner.
I thought that prior shot might have trickled right past on the left side. It was close.
We've said that a lot today, Jeff. There have been a lot of really close calls in this game. The Tigers could easily be ahead by a bit more, and the Dolphins could easily be ahead as well. So this game could look a lot different as this corner is headed by Albano. Radavini gets a foot on it. The Dolphins do not clear yet. Albano finally does, but didn't get it very far as that's sent toward goal, up and over the frame off the foot of Maddie McGuire.
And again, Albano, she's just been all over the place defensively. I mean, she's been everywhere. She headed that away, she kicked it away, everything. Clearing it. She's all over. She's being a pest out there against the Tigers.
We approach 3 minutes to go in this first half, and when we get close to the end of the half, we're going to have to lend Jeff's headset over to our public address system for the countdown. With our swim meet last night and our spare microphone up at the pool, we are one microphone short.
Unfortunately, people at home cannot hear my voice for 1 whole minute.
They'll have to do without you for the final 60 seconds of the half. And that one did land on the top of the tent. I thought it was coming that way. We had our crew ducking as if there was no covering over our head. What's going on there?
Everyone got so nervous.
They don't know the rule. There's no flinching.
Hey, you're a professional. I remember 2 weeks ago, ball came about 2 feet to your head, and no movement, no movement.
You know, you got to lead by example and make sure that everyone is in line. That's what it takes.
And I believe the wind might have just pushed that, because you see how
It did.
the ball
That
just
was headed over.
so short.
That was headed over, and the wind knocked it down completely.
Yeah, the wind is playing a very big factor in this game.
Flag up and offsides against the Dolphins. All right, so Jeff, what we're going to do now is lend your headset over to Sam. We're going to plug it into our public address system. And you will rejoin me for the start of the second half. We have about 90 seconds to go here in half number one. The Tigers hoping to mount one more attack here. All right, so we lost our audio momentarily, but we're back. Final 15 seconds here in this first half. The Tigers looking to cross. Two Dolphins are there working against McGuire. And the ball rolls over the touchline for a Dolphins goal kick, but they won't need to take it, as that is going to do it for half number one. Our score at the break, Holy Family 2, Staten Island 1. On your screen during halftime, you will find additional information on Morgan's Message and how to get involved with supporting their work. You can scan the QR code on the screen for more. But for the next 15 minutes, there will be silence on the stream. Stay right here through our halftime break, and Jeffrey joins me on headset when we come back for the start of half number two. Once again, our score at the break, Holy Family 2, Dolphins 1.
Hello, CSI fans. Welcome back to our second half of play, of non-conference play here. We are starting the second half, the CSI Dolphins versus the Holy Family Tigers. First half was a close affair, 2-1. We saw a very, very competitive game there. Not only in the scoreline, but this game could easily have been a bigger lead for the Tigers or a lead for the Dolphins. Dolphins still looking to get their first win of the season, whilst the Tigers are looking to keep up their 2-game winning streak, increase it to 3 as they will be, after this game, going on a 3, their final 3 games of the year in conference, all in conference play. As I said before, Dolphins have yet to get a win this year. They're looking for their first one, but it has been very competitive. Dolphins took their first penalty of the season and did put it away to get that goal. And it was scored by Isabella Radavini, who has had a fabulous game so far. And kickoff starts. Tigers pick it up in the midfield. Very quickly it gets brought back out to Brianna Dory. And Brianna has had a fabulous game so far, even though she's given up 2 goals. She's had some great saves throughout. I apologize for any wind that comes in. It is very windy today. As Tigers go down the wing. It's blocked by Emily Massey. Tigers throw in. Looking for some space. It's cut out. It's brought out. Offsides, though, called. Offside on the Tigers. In a dangerous position there. One of their players just happened to be standing offsides. Ball gets bumbled around. And now a goal kick. Brianna Dorr couldn't find any of her players, but it still falls back to CSI as it's headed out by the Tigers. And Joe coming back on commentary in just a moment here, so I will be coming back to becoming the color. Welcome back, Joe.
All right, thank you, Jeff. We had to address a stats issue from halftime, get the second half starters, and now that we have all that up and running, I can safely rejoin the broadcast. Happy to be back. Dolphins trail 2-1 through the first 45 minutes plus, as right now it appears Isabella Radavini is getting a talking to along with Tigers goalkeeper Hannah Labadie. And Mr. Transpired just sat down as that discussion was beginning.
Yeah, I'm not exactly 100% sure. I was just moving back. I wasn't able to keep my eyes fully locked on. But I was saying on the commentary just before that first half was really competitive between the two sides. Could easily have gone either way. So it's been a really good game so far.
That ball rolling into the box, and Dorr will have to dive on top of it. And that's another one that just gets completely stifled by the wind.
Yeah, I mean, it just is slowing down so quickly.
Dorr will send this one out across the midfield stripe, and you can see how much the wind assisted that one.
Just blew it by. I believe our player would have gotten to it. Is that Radavini? That was
Radavini.
Yes. Radavini, I believe, would have gotten to that if it wasn't for the wind to just take it as far as it did.
Thompson for Uwe. Now Marr. Back to Buckley, and Albano up to Marr again. Marr looked to send one toward Radavini. It was broken up, and the Tigers now look to counter. Looking to work it toward the inside was McGuire. She still has it on her foot.
Yeah. And McGuire, I don't believe, started the game, but she is a very, very good subs. Coming off the subs, going to bring a lot of fire, I think, for the Tigers.
Ball in the midfield. Rolls through some traffic and was sent back the other way by Murphy. Here comes Fox. Fox sends one toward the corner. Hess racing toward it, meets it at the touchline, and that was sent off of Emily Albano.
And again, Emily Albano everywhere in this game. Not even a surprise to see her getting another block.
Everywhere at all times, never comes off the pitch. Not often we see her leave the game.
That's what you need to see out of your captain, I believe. That's what comes with the armband.
And a foul is called against Ariel Uwe in a dangerous spot. This is probably 5 yards in, perhaps a bit less away from that corner, but a free kick from a quality position. Keep in mind, the wind is blowing on your screen from right to left.
Yeah, and Tigers actually scored a goal like this last game in this exact type of position, just in play. So we'll see what they can do now.
Tangle up in the box, and Tigers wanted a foul call. Didn't get it.
And Dolphins did great. Disrupted the set piece there, you know, and got that out very quickly. Didn't let anything develop from it.
Dolphins were awarded a throw. And again, they conceded a corner. So at one point in the first half, corners were 5-1. That may have been about where we ended things in terms of corner kicks in that first half, but I'll get an updated tally for you now.
Well, as of right now, I believe this is their first corner already, but it's only been about 4 minutes.
That was number 6 for the game. Corners now 6-1.
6-1. Seems about right. But Dolphins, you know, they've had a few shots. They just haven't been able to fall, especially second or third chance of the game where it trickled along the baseline the whole way.
Radavini was fouled there. Ball headed through the midfield and rolling toward the touchline out of play. Quick throw in. Ball played toward the center of the pitch. McGuire turns and gives it up. Mignon toward the near side. Here comes Hess, working inside against Uwe, and that attempt is blocked. Radavini racing toward this ball. Kilkenny quickly turns and ball sent up the pitch, but fired back down by Albano.
And that was a really great move from the Tigers. You know, she got a great first step, but second defender came over and just blocked it very fast. So even when Dolphins players are getting beat, they're having their other players recover in and help out.
Brooke Del Toro now moving in toward the touchline, sends one on goal, it's stopped. And Uwe sends it back right onto the foot of another Tiger. And I think Albano may have blocked that one with her forehead.
Great stuff from Albano. You know, you don't need the goalkeeper to work a little more. Get yourself on the line there. Get yourself a little save. Great stuff.
Uwe's clearance set up the Tigers for another quality shot. Dixon was in close and had a second attempt at Brianna Dorr following the shot by Del Toro, and fortunately for Dorr, she had some help. She was in position, not sure she needed it, but Albano was right there.
You know, she had it, you know, right position there, but what Albano's doing, you know, she shouldn't have to put her hands on it, you know. Albano's letting her know, I'm right here, don't worry. I'm the second keeper today. Getting herself another block.
Throw in Holy Family. It's a long one against the wind.
You see how quickly it just stops.
This is Hammond. Met immediately by Fox, had to give it up. Now Massey. Right back to Hammond. Hammond goes down.
a little surprised there was no foul there. I don't believe she really got any of the ball there.
I'm very surprised.
On.
Kylie Murphy now gets it onto the foot of McGuire. McGuire right back to Murphy. Murphy gets by Massey, sends one toward goal, and it was a bit wide, but Dorr knocks it down.
And again, I don't want to keep bringing up the wind. That shot was definitely going to fall out, but it slowed down so much that Brianna Dorr was able to just walk over to it and just pick it up. Tigers have definitely come out very, very quick.
That penalty kick for the Dolphins came with about 10.5 minutes to go in the first half.
And so far now, 100% conversion rate on those penalties this season. Don't need to say that it was the one and only, but...
There's a good ball onto the foot of Dixon and just high.
Wow. That is a great chance. That's an unfortunate one. Dixon knows she should have put that one away. She should have made the keeper work a bit more. It did bounce a little up there, but she definitely could have gotten a shot on target there.
McGuire couldn't believe it. Dixon couldn't believe it. Chances don't get much better than that one, and that opportunity to make it a 2-goal game goes by the wayside. Dolphins now conversing with one another about what went wrong there as well, and a lot of bewilderment on both sides following that miss.
Yeah, and to find when you get an open chance like that, so open up there, right? Someone in the midfield someone in the middle, right? Allowed it to come through. When you're playing this type of formation, I said this earlier, you need to congest the midfield, right? You need to congest the back line. Don't let them get anything right in the center there. Communication at all times to make sure everybody's where they need to be there. Great chance, though.
Hammond strong on the ball there in the midfield as Thompson sends one toward goal, and it skips into the arms of Labadie.
Was that a pass, or do you think that really was a shot?
I didn't see anyone there that she possibly could have been passing to. I think she was trying to shoot it.
Might have scuffed it a little bit then.
Keep in mind, the wind is blowing in that direction, so if you attempt a long shot going in this direction now, I think it has a chance.
I do believe that as well. I think, take a few pop shots, right? Wind's going to carry, yeah, just that little bit more. It's like a little bit of golf. Wind's in your favor. Hit that, you're going to get a little more yardage on it.
And the only golf I've ever played is at Topgolf. I've gotten increasingly better with each visit. I've only been there, I believe, twice, but maybe 3 times.
Practice makes perfect.
Getting increasingly better.
One day we get on the course together.
CSI Sportsnet foursome in the golf outing next year?
Hey, get a maybe staff versus students. A little golf game.
Yeah. I don't know if we'd have anybody that could help us out there.
May have to make a few calls.
More than a few. If it's the Sportsnet staff, we're going to have to make quite a few calls. Buckley up ahead. Hammond to Marr. Marr sends it in the air. It comes down in front of Radavini, in front of Labadie. And the Tigers goalkeeper has it.
And Labadie, not too many shots. Not too much she's had to deal with. I believe the Dolphins have had about, don't have the stats in front of me, maybe 6 or 7 shots so far. But she's worked on almost every single one of them. So definitely hasn't been an easy day for her.
Here come the Tigers once again. Dixon working by several defenders, and she didn't get all of the shot.
Gosh. I mean, she did everything. She did the hardest part, but could not get any bit of that ball right. Dribbled past 3 defenders like it was nothing.
Can't do much better in terms of dribbling than she did right there, but the finish simply wasn't there on that one.
She had it on a plate, but she forgot her knife.
This could very easily be a 3-goal game right now.
Absolutely.
And Hammond will try, and I think the players have the same mindset that I did. Shoot into the wind, take your chances. There's still some time left in this match. And if you have an opening from distance, I think it's worthwhile to try and put one on goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said before, you don't even have to hit it as hard now. Wind's going to carry it a lot more. May even move it a little differently. Goalkeeper might not like how it moves.
And I think that's the number one thing. Obviously, your range is extended when the wind's carrying the ball, but the unpredictability of those shots in flight definitely makes a difference. And I think we saw that on the goal earlier. That Dorr got a piece of, and it dropped in behind her.
Yeah, sometimes the wind really can play a factor, you know? The wind is really like a 12th player on both sides.
It's definitely a factor. Definitely a factor. In moves Murphy. Murphy had it on her foot, was dispossessed, but it finds Mignon now along the near side. Getting a touch on it was Murphy, and it was lost. Throw in here for the Tigers.
And I believe they've changed the game plan a little bit. I'm seeing a little less passing, a little more dribbling now.
Challenging this Dolphin defense down around the box. You can see one challenge after another coming up empty as that's sent toward goal. And once again, Tigers not able to get all of it.
And I believe, was that Hess? Was that Hess with the ball there?
I think the final shot traveled past Fox. She may have shot it, I'm not sure. A lot of bodies in the middle there.
I believe that could have been Hess who made it around, whoever that was, made it around 3-4
Well, the initial
defenders.
dribbling was not the player who took the shot.
No, yeah. I believe, though, the dribbler was number 23.
I think you are right.
Yeah, so Hess, I mean.
Radavini dribbling now, looks to beat her marker, and another defender there waiting. It gets by Massey. Dolphins have to be careful of the counter here, but Tigers give it away. Hammond in trouble. Sends it right through Massey.
And again, I think Tigers, right? Two chances now where they've dribbled past 3-4 defenders and just couldn't get a clean shot off.
Hammond was down, and foul was whistled.
I mean, it was a little dangerous there, right? She could have got kicked there. That was
it was very dangerous. Yeah. But Hammond was playing the ball while she was flat on the turf. And that was the contention from the Tigers bench. And they're certainly right. I mean, she was flat on her back and put herself in a really dangerous position as that ball is on goal and stopped by Labadie. But that was from a long way out, Jeff. And again, the wind takes it, carries it all the way toward that back post. Yeah,
Kaylin Thompson taking that shot from about, 45, 50 yards away. I mean, I do the same thing, right? Wind's going to carry it as so much as it is. Make them work for it.
With the throw-in coming up here. Substitutions on both sides. Allison Loper and Rebecca Casper in on the side of Holy Family. Jenna Como in for the Dolphins, along with Clarissa Melgoza. Ball rolls toward the corner. Radavini gives it up to Melgoza. Now Uwe for Marr. Marr sends one across the pitch, contacted by Ludwig. It's still loose near the top of the box. Marr corrals it, puts it up in the air. Nearly a disastrous giveaway there. And finally, Tigers cleared it to the midfield. Marr looks to turn. Got a piece. Thompson on goal and saved.
And it was bobbling all over the place. Nobody could get possession. Thompson got another clean look at it. just needed to just place it a little more. I don't think she needs to put as much power. And I don't think she is, but she just unfortunately couldn't place it into the corner.
Well, we've seen it this year here at home already. Thompson is capable of turning quickly, putting one on target from distance, and scoring.
Yeah.
I think she had more time on that last shot.
She made it. Yeah, I think she had a little more time. She could have put something away here.
Hess dribbling nicely once again, had her shot blocked. And she looked to give it up to Murphy, but it rolls past her and over the touchline for a Dolphins throw.
I think, as you said before, having someone who could just turn quickly, just get a shot off, I mean, it's so important to have, right? Because you can make something turn into something, nothing turn into something very, very quickly. So it's very important to have someone like that on your team. Not everybody can do that.
Ludwig has Melgoza and Radavini both through. The flag was not up, but the ball far too strong.
Yeah, just need to put a little off of it. You know, this wind as well is still going to carry it. This doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be that heavy. That could have turned into a very promising opportunity.
It's not often you have two players through like that.
Yeah.
Buckley along the touchline on her own right now, plays it to her goalkeeper. Dorr has it right on the goal line. Have to be careful there.
Yeah, I don't like when you pass it back so close there. I mean, she felt very comfortable there, of course, but man, I would not like to get it there.
Nearly a giveaway by the Dolphins, and now they look to move through the midfield, but making sure that doesn't happen was Grace Joyce. That ball was launched back the other way. Como just got that pass off for Massey. It's knocked in the air by Del Toro. Now looking to turn with it was Murphy, but it was knocked over the touchline and into the Tigers bench for a Holy Family throw.
And again, you see how the Tigers are very, very aggressive so far in this game. Really wanting to make as many chances as quickly as they can.
Melgoza avoids a challenge, drops it off for Ludwig. Ludwig for Marr. Window closing quickly. Marr got it away, but it finds the foot of Kilkenny, who sends it into the air.
At Marr, I think it took a dodgy little bounce there, so unfortunately couldn't get as clean of a touch on it. Make the pass out.
Pass through the midfield and up ahead to Murphy. Murphy squaring up with the box, gives it up. Loper pressured toward the sideline. Now Murphy again. Del Toro over everybody. I think that was a shot attempt, Jeff, but there was an opportunity there along that back post. She had an attacker making a run. If that ball's a bit lower, there was a chance for a header on goal.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, listen, it doesn't matter. If you get an assist and it was a shot, you always say it was an assist, right?
Of course.
But the way she looked down, back up, you could tell she was looking to shoot that thing.
Agreed. Ball rolling toward the corner again. Albano plays it back to her keeper. Dorr got into that one. Nearly sent it all the way to the midfield stripe. And wind certainly helping with that cause.
Just flying on through.
Even the ball runners are having a tough time gauging how much to put on the ball when they throw it to the players. They can use their hands, and they're still having some problems.
Imagine what it's like for the players.
Well, I have no coordination when it comes to dribbling a soccer ball in any way, shape, or form.
No, that's all right. I mean, you know the coach, right? Coach can maybe give you a lesson or two.
I need more than 2 lessons. I need a full season's worth. We do have our faculty and staff versus students basketball game coming up, and that's the game I need to be ready for.
When is that game?
I think it's coming up in late November as the Dolphins move in here, and again, Labadie will clear. But it's onto the foot of Como, and Como sends one into the wind. And the wind completely sent that one into orbit. Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, it just completely pushed off to the side. Labadie, prior to that, beautiful, came up perfectly and just kicked that thing away. It could have been very, very bad for her, though. When it falls to a midfielder like that, right in the middle of the box, midfielders are ready to shoot that thing every time. But the wind helped out the goalkeeper this time.
Going back very quickly to the topic of that basketball game, I think it's in mid to late November. Last year we got completely annihilated by the students. It was the first time that I had ever lost a faculty, staff versus students event.
Oh, wow.
I missed the football game due to illness and game day last year. We had a game. I called the first inning of our softball doubleheader. My voice was pretty much gone, so I stepped off headset and I went and watched some of the game. Couldn't play, but the staff held on to win that one. We then dominated in softball as usual.
Now, basketball, I could be a help. You know, my name is, as they know, my name is Jeff, and when back in my day, they used to call me Jeff Curry.
Jeff Curry, really?
Yeah, white men can't jump, and
Wow.
I'm a part of that. So, only other thing I could do is shoot.
Yeah, I never got the Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant comparison when I played recreationally, but I did get the Kevin Love comparison as the Tigers now move in. And another chance here for Holy Family off the left foot of Murphy and wide.
That was a great chance. I think Murphy had so much time there. You see how lax it was there. She had about 4 seconds to really think about where to go. Unlucky not to score there. She needs to do better there. She needs to put it on target.
Sal Caruso, our intramurals coordinator here at CSI, does a great job of coordinating our students versus faculty and staff events. And back when I was a student, I would attend open gym during the recreational hours here on campus, and I had my fellow students calling me Kevin Love and Steve Novak. I was quite the three-point shooter, but I was a very good rebounder as well.
And that's where the Kevin Love comes in.
When you play recreationally, 6'1", 6'2" is a pretty good height.
Yeah.
Give me 6'2" in shoes for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. I'll take the extra inch in shoes.
Hey, any day of the week, I'd want to be 6'1". Playing basketball, doesn't matter if I'm average height. I'm short.
Yeah, it's funny, when I would play basketball, I never really thought of myself as tall, and then I realized when I got off the basketball court, above average out here. As that's crossed toward the back post and over the touchline, it's going to be a goal kick here for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's always what happens. You think you're not too tall, and all of a sudden you step off the court and you're a giant.
Exactly. I didn't realize I was tall until I reached college, because my entire high school career was spent. I didn't play on the high school team. I played daily, twice a day, during tutoring hours and basketball gym. So I had a lot of reps. I never even thought I was good at basketball until I showed up there and was told I should be on the team. I was like, really? I only ever played in the street when I was a kid. I was never on an organized basketball team growing up.
Wow.
We had the hoop in front of my house, and that was it.
That's all you really need sometimes.
Unfortunately, it didn't prepare me well for soccer when I got a ball on my foot and tried to shoot penalty kicks. That was a very bad look for me.
Yeah, we don't. Listen, that's neither here nor there, right?
Let's just say I couldn't do what Isabella Radavini did earlier and score on a penalty kick. Dolphins have it, but not for long, as that rolls over the touchline for another Tigers goal kick.
That's why we leave it up to the ones with the jerseys, right?
Exactly. That's why I have a headset and I'm over here and I'm not out there. I always joke, though, I do have one semester of eligibility remaining, so at any time I could step out there and make an impact. You never know what sport may be.
Give them a solid 20 minutes, right?
Honestly, I think the sport where I might be able to do the most, and let's be clear, there is no sport where I can contribute any more than anyone we have right now. But I think the best chance that I would have to contribute anything would be cross country, because I did attempt to run a 5-minute mile once, and I ran it in 5:40 on a treadmill.
Wow.
I was told that 5:40 on a treadmill is actually less if you're running it on level ground.
That's true. I have that's absolutely true, actually. I have a friend who ran a lot of track. He got a Division III offer, so he knows a thing or two, and he says if you're running 5:40, no, 100%. Treadmill is not the same on the floor.
Yeah, so I was told by a CSI Athletics Hall of Famer, Jeff Benjamin, that was pretty good, as the Dolphins looked for a shot there, but that ball from Hammond rolled through everybody and was easily covered up by Labadie.
Man, you're making me need to get back in the gym. I've never ran a 5:40.
Speaking of cross country, they're at the ECC Championship today.
Oh, wow.
That meet got started earlier this morning as the clock was stopped and a yellow card is shown to Isabella Radavini. But the ECC Cross Country Championship got underway early this morning. I believe they're finished already. The women's 5K, I think, was at 8, and the men's 8K was at 10, if I'm not mistaken. The award ceremony shortly after that. So I believe that was the itinerary today, and the results should be live soon, if not already.
Well, hopefully good luck to them.
Dolphins last year placing 5th and 8th at the Cross Country Championship, and we'll have a full recap of this year's meet over at CSIDolphins.com later this afternoon once we're wrapped up here at soccer.
And if you know, I ran 1 5K in my life, 2, not very fun, and it's really hard. So good luck. Well, they already finished up, like you said, so hopefully they did well.
Ball bouncing around, and there was a foul called in the midst of that traffic, so the Dolphins are awarded a free kick.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, you know, they haven't had too many opportunities. It's been a little scarce. A few here and there. Some testing with the win in their favor.
We haven't seen quite what we did in the first half in terms of opportunities for them.
No, I don't think so, but I think they can definitely get back to that so quickly.
We'll have to get a time check from Edward. Edward, time check?
Yeah, 16.
16? Wow, this half flew.
Wow, is it right? Wow, I thought there was going to be like 30 minutes left. 25, 16?
I'll make sure we get our extra microphone after this so that you don't have to give up your headset again during the next game. We do have extra headsets in the broadcast equipment crate, which is up in the office, but I've been using my own personal equipment bag. Much easier, much more portable, a lot lighter. And we have everything in that crate that we own here at CSI, but much more than we need.
Could always, okay, we can get maybe if we need one of those.
We'll grab one of those next game as Massey races toward the corner, got a piece of it, went down, and play continues.
Yeah, now Massey's out, so they have something on the left side to work with. They don't choose to go that way, though.
Tigers through the midfield now, play it toward the near side. Hess.
And still that left side is so open.
Buckley with the intercept, and now Hammond up to Thompson. We'll see if the Dolphins can get something going here. Ludwig was in a foot race with Del Toro, but ball still a bit too strong.
I believe Ludwig could be a little tired. I mean, she's played, I believe, every single minute, right?
I think you're right.
You saw in that run, the ball was a bit too far for her, but it's going to be already tough for her to get to it.
I mentioned earlier that we had a late change in the Dolphins starting lineup. Ludwig originally was not in the starting lineup. Eva Rodriguez was. Then shortly before kickoff and after starters were introduced, they made the change.
Rodriguez came in later, and she played really great in her role.
12. Sorry. Did you ask me?
Tigers have it here. Del Toro now working toward the midfield stripe, straight through it. And she was dispossessed from behind by Ludwig.
Just that little nick on it, and she couldn't get that pass across.
Ball along the touchline here and sent in front for the goal. Dixon to Loper. A late run down the middle by Allison Loper, and the find by Bridget Dixon has put the Tigers ahead 3-1.
You know, they just dribbled right past the baseline. They just allowed. It almost felt like they just let them go by and just. I mean, what are you supposed to do there, right?
That was too easy.
5 yards out. I mean, what are you supposed to do as a keeper there?
Not much you can do there as the goalkeeper, but we've said it already during this half, Jeff. The Dolphins just haven't had the chances they had in the first half. The opportunities have favored the Tigers. They've been knocking on the door throughout this entire second half, and finally they are able to break through with goal number 3.
Yeah, and you know, as much as the Tigers have played really great, I just believe that goal, that was just far too easy in my opinion. But great from the Tigers to just get inside and get probably the easiest goal they've had all season.
It was good patience as well.
Yeah, perfect. You know, she didn't rush into it. She found
All right,
the
we
right
have a
pass.
camera issue, so I'm going to step off headset and try and fix that for us.
I will step in now as play-by-play for Joe. And as I was saying before, you know, it's unfortunate. I think that was a bit of an easy goal there, but happens. Like as Joe was about to say, the patience there was just great. I mean, she made it past all the defenders, could have taken the shot herself, but decided, no, I'm going to make the right pass there. Now Dolphins move it up. Isabella Radovini touches it down near the corner flag, but they call it out of bounds. She may have just stepped out. Ball may have just flew out of bounds there. Substitution comes in for the Tigers. Carly Farrell comes in for Del Toro. For Brooke Del Toro. In defense. Now thrown for the Tigers, but it gets intercepted. Fortunately, it does fall right back out of play by Jenna Coma. Now Tigers looking to do something with it. And I believe might have stepped out of bounds again. Just cannot keep it in bounds on that left side right now. Nobody can keep possession. Now Tigers trying to get it, and again, out of bounds. And something, Dolphins haven't had the same chances like as we said before. Tigers have really been hounding them. They need to get back to what they were doing before. Play quickly. That's just not where you want to put the pass. Caitlin Thompson, they're fighting. Does pick it right back up. Albano back to the keeper. It's up in the air. CSI picks it up. Tigers just immediately intercepted again. And now rolling with the ball. Massey, great defensively. Now she's pushing the pace. But gets instantly tackled by Kilkenny. Now Kilkenny sees instantly taken out by Caitlin Thompson. Gets that out of there. Now Dolphins trying to move. Elgoza gets blocked there on the shot attempt. And it goes right back to Labadie. Labadie looking it over. The wind is just not helping. It just completely just drops down immediately. Dolphins are able to pick it back up. Ludwig, great move right there to keep the ball in play. Fortunately, Dolphins just kick it back into the hands of Labadie. Again, Dolphins just not really creating too many chances right now. With not a lot of time left on the clock. How much time? How much? 9.5. With just 9.5 minutes left, it's becoming more and more difficult for the Dolphins to get back into this game with still now a 2-goal deficit. After Holy Family's last goal. Tigers with a great chance here. Number 6, Rowan, running down the line. Foul! Foul from behind. Yellow card shown to Kelly Buckley. Great chance made by the Tigers. Not really much you could do. I think that was the best case scenario. Just get the foul there, stop the play from what could have been another goal. But a free kick now in a dangerous position. Tigers talking it over. Who's taking this? What are we doing here? About 30-35 yards here. Allison Loper and Carly Fox stand over it. Looks like it's going to be Loper. No, it's Fox. Loper. Try to make a deep pass in, but unfortunately it doesn't work out. Now both number 16s stepping in for the Tigers and Dolphins. Coming out for the Dolphins is number 21, Caitlin Thompson, and number 23, Breen Hess, who's played a great game so far. Really left an impact, and both of them, Breen Hess and Caitlin Thompson, both have done their part in this game. As Joe comes back on commentary for the second time. Welcome back, Joe. Once he gets his headset on.
The over-under for the typical broadcast for me in terms of disappearing off headset is usually at about 1.5, so we're over today.
All right, well, should have
one is almost a guarantee. So 1.5, I'd say, is where the line gets set. We're over today. We did swap batteries on our transmitter at halftime. Apparently, the second battery did not charge properly. So the first half battery is now back on. It has been charging since halftime.
Hey, that's better than what it was 2 weeks ago when I believe the battery just completely died.
The battery issue during our last game was the actual camera battery. The camera battery did not charge.
Oh, yeah.
It was not the transmitter battery. We have 2 rechargeable batteries over there on the opposite side, and we need about 3 or 4 hours out of them between the 2 games. We do turn it off at halftime and revert to our camera over here as the Tigers move in. Good patience there, but maybe a bit too much by Fox, looking for that shooting lane.
Carly Fox, yeah, I mean, she made some great moves there, but really, yeah, she didn't make a shot come out of that. Definitely a lost opportunity there.
To be fair, there were 3 Dolphins working defensively, but
I think she might have been waiting on some teammates to come in and make a passing lane for her, but that help never came.
We'll have to continue to keep an eye on the clock. We'll have to lend our headset again when we get down to a minute. Dolphins trailing by 2. The Tigers hoping to make it 3. Won't do so right there.
That was Gazelle Rowan. Pretty tame effort there. Easy for Brianna Dorton to just pick it up.
Not only has it remained very windy, it has gotten much colder since this game started.
Yeah, I'm trying to, stay strong out here, but it is gotten very cold. Now it's below, I believe when I checked earlier, it might be now below 60.
We have had perfect weather all season, and we have endured some cold games over at softball in the past, but generally speaking, the weather here has been excellent all year. It's still nice out, but I think with the shade and the clouds rolling into where we are, it's gotten a bit more chilly.
Yeah. And, for the players, when it's a little colder, it's not too bad, right? You're staying in the game, you're staying warm. The wind factor is playing so much more into this. But for us here in the commentators, we're just sitting. It's cold.
Going to have a throw-in coming up, perhaps a free kick instead. I think there was a foul called, and indeed it will be a free kick for the Tigers.
Tigers just had one on the reverse side. Couldn't really get much out of it. It was Carly Fox and Allison Loper stood over it.
That one sent toward goal. Albano knocked it down on the volley. Could not clear, and that shot is just wide.
That was Jessica Wojner, if I believe.
Yeah, Wojner had a chance from in close there, and that's on target. I'm not sure Dorr was going to have the opportunity to stop it.
Yeah, that was a really good chance for them again. I mean, they've had quite a few opportunities this game. I believe that might have hit her right on the top of the head.
Yeah, Hooten took that ball. It looked like off the temple.
No, might have been right on the top, and that's the worst part of the head to hit it on, because it makes you a little like all over the place for a second.
Foul called here against Holy Family. We have to be approaching the final 5 minutes now, I think.
What's the time?
Get a time check from Edward.
4:30.
4:30. Right on the money.
Hey, you're right on there, yeah.
So Jeff and I are seated a bit further away from our engineer, Edward, than usual today, as that's a good ball, but it is right on goal and saved easily by Labadie.
Yeah, I mean, just right into the hands, right? I mean, it's just what you want as a keeper.
Well, she has to be pleased with the way her team has played here in the second half. She was tested quite a bit in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I believe a goalkeeper can only be as good as the defenders they have behind them, right? I mean, a goalkeeper can only do so much. Defensively, these center backs for the Tigers have been phenomenal. They haven't let anything through this second half.
PK brought some life to the Dolphins bench at the end of the first half, as I mentioned before. About 10.5 minutes to go ahead of that penalty kick, but since then, it's been all Tigers. They've had plenty of chances. They converted on the one opportunity in front. Good patience to set it up. Dixon finding Loper, and that really may have put this game out of reach with the lack of opportunity for the Dolphins so far in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that was Loper's second goal of the game, so she has a brace today. I mean, it's hard, right? You have all this coming in. You're like, you can come back into this game, and when the second chance starts to have less chances than the first, then you let a goal up, it becomes really difficult mentally to just keep yourself fighting as hard as humanly possible. It becomes difficult, especially with the way they're pushing now.
And that one ends up in the arms of Dorr off the foot of Hooten. Alyssa and Ava Hooten both in the game here for Holy Family. Ball in the hands of their goalkeeper, Labadie, once again, as that's sent out toward midfield. Bounces along the near side, now to play. 2:20 to go. So, Jeff, why don't we get your headset over there for them to count down, and we'll be sure to have one more out here before the start of our next game. So let's get that set up, and we'll get you through the final couple of minutes here. So making this switch in the midst of the wind can be a bit challenging. We're working on it. Tigers have it in the midfield here along the near side. They now work toward the corner into the attacking third. Ball passed inside and cleared away. We're down to the final 75 seconds here from the CSI Outdoor Track and Field Complex. We are going to go off the air pretty quickly following the conclusion of this game, as that's sent toward goal and high. That could be the final Tigers shot attempt in this match.
1 minute remaining.
Goal kick Staten Island under 1 minute remaining as we reach the 50-second mark. Dorr with a low line drive into the midfield. Ludwig got a piece, and it's sent back the other way by the Tigers. Foul called against Eva Rodriguez. She made contact with Carly Farrell. And it's going to be a free kick here for Holy Family. So maybe one last attempt. Taking the free kick will be Kilkenny. She sends it short onto the foot of Murphy. Murphy with 15 seconds remaining. Dribbles toward the sideline, just keeping it away from the Dolphins here.
10,
Holy Family with no intention of shooting, and
7,
that will bring this match to a close
4, 3,
in their penultimate match of the 2024 season. Dolphins fall by a final score of 3-1. They trailed 1-0 early. That lead did eventually double, but a penalty kick by Isabella Radavini made it 2-1. The Tigers do add a goal in the second half to give themselves some breathing room, and that was all they would need as they take the win 3-1. As we mentioned earlier, you can support Morgan's Message by scanning the QR code on your screen. This has been the Morgan's Message Mental Health Awareness Day here at the CSI Outdoor Track and Field Complex. We do have, however, a men's soccer game coming up next. Kickoff for that one scheduled for about 90 minutes from now at 2:30 p.m. Be sure to tune in for that game here. Until then, this has been Joe Foreman. I was joined on the call by Jeffrey Brodsky. Both of us will be back to join you for the men's game coming up in approximately 90 minutes, right back here on the ECC Network.